Hey guys, I'm here to talk about the Hartford Circus fire. I saw another video on it and I decided to make my own. Now I will link up in the cards, I think it's over here, my story about Raymond Erickson who disappeared during the fire from my other channel. The fire occurred on July 6, 1944. The performance started about 2:15 in the afternoon under the big top. It's a big canvas tent. It held about 9,000 spectators around its three rings. There were approximately 7,000. They don't know exactly how many, partly because a bunch of free tickets were given out at the beginning. They had to waterproof with paraffin and gasoline. Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for disaster, does it not? Because their regular waterproofer was unavailable due to World War II going on at the time. So, and they had arrived late, so they were worried that some catastrophe was going to happen during the first performance. Nothing happened, so they let their guard down. And the next day, the 2:15 in the afternoon performance, yes, bad things happened. It began as a small flame right after the Lions performed when the Wallendas, says the Great Wallendas, it's the Flying Wallendas, were performing their acrobatic routine. The Flying Wallendas are the probably the most well-known tightrope walkers, trapeze artists, all that sort of stuff of all time. In fact, one of them, a couple generations removed from this group, still performs crazy high wire acts, like walking across the Grand Canyon on a high wire. You gotta have a screw loose, that's all I'm saying. On the southwest side wall of the tent is where it happened. The band played the song Stars and Stripes Forever because it's a distress call. For circus performers, they know if the band starts playing that song, something is seriously incorrect. So they know that they need to take action in one way or another. Ow, 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 ow. A survivor named Maureen Crakian was 11 years old at the time of the fire and actually lived right on the same street. She was supposed to go with her neighbors, but they had already walked down. So she went down on her own. This is what she said, and I quote, "I remember somebody yelling and seeing a big ball of fire near the top of the tent. And this ball of fire just got bigger and bigger and bigger. By that time, everybody was panicking. The exit was blocked with the cages that the animals were brought in and out with, and there was a man taking kids and flinging them up and over that cage to get them out. I was sitting up in the bleachers and jumped down. I was 3/4 of the way up. You jumped down, and it was all straw underneath. There was a young man, a kid, and he had a pocket knife, and he slit the tent, took my arm, and pulled me out." Well, as she was being pulled out, she grabbed the arm of another child and pulled that child out. There was a lady, the armless, legless wonder, sitting in her chair. She was a performer. Somebody ran up to where she was, picked her up, and carried her out. Good for them. It is commonly believed the number of fatalities is higher than the estimates given due to poorly kept residency records in rural towns and the fact that some smaller remains were never identified or claimed. Additionally, as I mentioned, free tickets had been handed out. Some of whom appeared to be eyewitnesses and circus employees to be drifters who would never have been reported missing. I don't quite understand that, but some guys died from injuries later at the hospital. Some died from injuries sustained from jumping from the tops of the bleachers and hoping they could escape under the sides of the tent, though that method of escape ended up killing more than it saved. Others died after being trampled. Notable survivors include Eunice Groark, the first female lieutenant governor of Connecticut, the Flying Wallendas, as I mentioned, Charles Nelson Riley, actor, comedian, and director. It affected him for the rest of his life. He died as a very old man and talked about it a number of times throughout his life. He was 6? Somewhere between 6 and 11. I forget now. But he was young. And he talked about it later on in life and how it still affected him. Hal Blaine, renowned drummer for what band, I have no idea. Emmett Kelly, the renowned circus clown. In fact, it was Emmett Kelly's picture that was published in the newspapers, probably the Hartford Current, first of all. I thought someone was knocking on my door. With his sad face, carrying a bucket of water, that got this day named the day the clowns cried. Then you have Eleanor Emily Cook. The child that was identified as Eleanor did not match her dental records, did not match her height, did not match her hair color, nothing. They just took a strand of hair here and there and decided it was her. Her family said it wasn't her, but she ended up buried with Eleanor's brother. Anyway, she was Little Miss 1565. That was in 1991. Now, I have a problem with this, and I'll tell you why. In researching the case of Raymond Erickson, I found that the coroner was a little bit shady. He told the Erickson family just to take another child and claim it as theirs so they could write off another one. How many families did he do that to? How many kids were taken by the wrong families? What kind of a real mess do we have that we don't even realize? It's just insane. In fact, in 1987, a note was left on Little Miss 1565's grave, reading, Sarah Graham is her name. 7638 DOB, which stands for date of birth. 6 years. Twin. Notes on nearby gravestones indicated that her twin brother and other relatives were buried close by. Okay, so this person put more than one note. The book A Matter of Degree is what got her identified as Eleanor Emily Cook. And again, I have a problem. It's not her. Stuart O'Nan, who published the book The Circus Fire, A True Story of an American Tragedy in 2001. I love this book. Little Miss 1565 was blonde. Emily was a brunette. The shape of her face and that of Emily are dissimilar. The heights and ages of the two girls do not match. And Eleanor's mother said it wasn't her. She was shown a picture, and I will show you. Very clear picture. Very clear picture of this child. If that's your child, you're going to recognize her. Yes, it's post-mortem, and I'm sorry if you have an issue with that, but she's been buried in Southampton with Emily's twin, at any rate. Emily's mother died at the age of 91 in 1997, still saying, "That is not my child, buried with my son." Here's an interesting story. While many of those present at the fire have avoided circuses ever since, others have returned. In May 2004, Dorothy Carvey and her son, Tiggy, were given free passes for their family by Ringling Brothers to attend a show at the XL Center. For Dorothy Carvey, this was her first time attending a circus since the fire occurred. The Hartford Current published the story of their visit, as well as what happened to them in 1944. The Hartford Circus Fire Memorial Foundation was formed in 2002. The Ringling Brothers and Brown and Bailey Circus visited Hartford during its final tour, putting on its final performance there on April 30th, 2017. Okay, I didn't need this. I don't know what this is. Okay. July 5th. Okay. That's just them getting their permits. I don't even know why I printed that. But anyway, I want to tell you about the still unidentified. Okay, partial list of lost articles picked up in the vicinity of the fire. Okay, this I do want to read you, because who knows what clues are in these items. Okay, here we go. By the way, the morgue was the state armory because they needed a big place to house all the victims. Partial list of lost articles picked up in the vicinity of the circus fire held in the property room, the Hartford Police Headquarters, by order of State's Attorney Hugh Alcorn, Jr. Before I read this, I should mention that I don't remember where I was going with that, but anyway. About 100 women's compacts of various sizes and shapes, many black with soot. A half-filled cigarette case, charred black. When they say cigarette case, they're not talking about a pack like we have today. They're talking about generally a metal case. They were fancy cases that generally women carried. There were some men's ones. They could be gold in color. Gold in color, silver in color. They could even be gold plated or silver plated, or even sterling. Anyway, 20 crucifixes, some tarnished, some bent out of shape. 20 lipsticks, a penknife, a half-burned purse, a comb untouched by fire, a rabbit's foot attached to a keychain, and many other tokens of luck attached to key rings and chains. Many eyeglasses and cases, some crushed, some burned. A torn pocket from a girl's coat with a Girl Scout pin. A partly burned umbrella with badly twisted framework. Approximately 20 pairs of shoes, one a size 2, most in bad shape. Wow. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Okay, the flags on the flew on half staff for a while afterwards. Interestingly, as word of the calamity spread through the city, the Southern New England Telephone Company switchboards were flooded with the greatest number of calls since the hurricane of 1938. That is insane. All afternoon and evening, there were some 250 operators on duty, as compared with a normal force of 150. This information is coming straight from the Circus Fire website, which I will link. Nearly a third of the victims were actually identified by dental charts. Chart of deaths by place and date on file at Connecticut State Library State Archives. There's a lot actually there. Let's see. Now I'm going to tell you about each of the unidentifieds. Body 1503 was found dead at the circus grounds. Description. Okay. Female, approximately 9 years old, probably white, 3 feet 11 inches in height, 55 pounds, slender build, light brown hair with a red glow. Badly burned, 3rd and 4th degree burns, feet and hands missing, skull cap off. Ugh. Dental examination shows upper and lower permanent incisors and first molars are present. All baby molars are present with fillings in the 4 baby second molars. Okay. Well, what this tells me, they have the adult incisors, which are these teeth. These teeth. So, and they have one set, and the first molars are present. First molars are the 6-year molars. And the baby molars. So this child couldn't have been more than 6. That's what that tells me. Body 1510. Hartford Hospital morgue, where identification was never made. Let's see. It was a male, approximately 11 years old, probably white, estimated height of 4'4", 70 pounds, muscular build, wearing white ribbed shorts and undershirt with shoulder straps. Badly burned, 3rd and 4th degree, feet and hands burned off, top of skull missing. Oh! Dental examination shows only 3 baby teeth present. Upper cuspids, lower left second molar, and 5 fillings in 4 teeth. Second molar. Okay, so yeah, he's got to be right around, he's tiny though. I was going to say right around 12, but according to, because he has a second molar. Second molar is a 12-year molar. Wow. Okay, Miss 1565. She was 5 to 6 years of age, probably blue eyes, 3 feet 10 inches, weight 40 pounds. Her head was 20.5 inches. Blonde or light brown, shoulder length, curly hair, wearing brown shoes and a flowered dress. And that's another thing. Emily Cook was wearing an outfit. I think they said it was a red outfit. So girl was in a white dress. All baby teeth present except lower central incisors. No permanent teeth have erupted except lower central incisors. Again, these are the incisors. These are teeth. Which means she only had these 2 that were grown-up teeth. Meaning she was very young. An 8-year-old would have had more grown-up teeth than that, and Emily was 8. We all know she was declared to be Eleanor, whatever. Body 2109. Okay. A white woman, age 30 plus, 5'1" to 5'5" in height. Weighed approximately 148 pounds. She was a small boned and stocky woman with a 22-inch head circumference. I do not know why they're giving head circumferences, because who the heck would know that? Um, Light brown and blonde hair. Eyes and teeth burned. Hands and fingers burned. Lower extremities not burned. Hips wide. Bust large. Hands and wrists small. Right rectus scar. Huh? Wait. Okay. Oh, the scar is 8 years old. Okay. She was wearing pink pants, a heavy laced Spencer corset, tan rayon socks, nylons in other words. Dental examination shows gold crowns on left upper lateral incisor and right lateral incisor, and gold filling on right and left side of lower middle incisor. Okay, the remains in October-November 2019, body 2109 was exhumed and selected parts were retained for DNA testing. Investigators in 2019 described the body as a Caucasian woman of European descent, 20 to 50 years old, approximately 5'4". The sternum, parts of the hands and feet, both kneecaps, and the right humerus, this bone, are missing from the body. Cranium was intact. Okay, body number 2200. 2200 was prepared by, okay, description. Male, age 55 to 60, probably white, height 5'3". Wow, was he small. And weighed approximately 170 pounds. So he was short and stout. Moderate build. 20-inch head circumference. Posterior head badly burned. Feet and hands off. Left arm missing from elbow. Fractured mandible. Both sides. Probably old. Dental examination of him shows evidence of regular dental care, including extensive gold work and bridges. Body number 4512 was descriptive features. Female, 30 to 35 years, possibly black, questionably white. No portion of the skin shows natural color. Oh, how awful. Height 5'2" to 5'5", approximately 140 to 160 pounds. Short and stocky, wide hips, 21.5-inch head circumference, hair burned off. Oh, dear Lord. Wearing an ornamental ring with missing stones on right ring finger. Yeah, the stones probably fell off and the ensuing blaze. A sterling silver slave bracelet with crossed R's and an eagle on the left wrist, and an 18-karat white gold wedding band on the left ring finger. Lower legs mostly absent, though 4512 was wearing white physical culture pumps with solid toes. Dental examination shows the upper teeth slope forward, all teeth large and strong. She was also exhumed in 2019, and they did a better anthropological look, and she was a black woman, 25 to 45 years of age, approximately 5'7". Part of the cranium, the sternum, and several bones from the hands and feet were missing from the body. Okay, that's just weird. Unfortunately, there was a lot of bacteria in these remains, and it was very difficult to obtain quality DNA. But Orthram is not giving up. Excuse me. Next to me here, throughout, is a picture of my cousin, Ann Baruvi, who died in this fire. And the reason that this fire means so much to me. Excuse me. So, that is our video for today. I am going to put the Hartford Circus Fire's official website in the links. I am going to put, I am frozen. The article about the DNA in the links. And again, I will make sure that Anne's picture is right here. You're not gonna see my finger anyway, but it's so funny that I cannot do that. But yes, and I will put in the card up, I'm not sure which side it's on, might be on this side, the link to my story about Raymond Erickson. His name is not listed in the victims list, and I don't know why. Found that odd, but anyway. There were at least 168 dead. At least. There were over 700 injured. And I do want to, I do want to say that I think that, oh boy, I can't remember. Oh, Georgia Marie did a good job on her video on this case. Several circus people were convicted in this case, and sent to jail. I'm not sure I'm not sure how they convicted circus people, but I mean, because they didn't have a fire extinguisher right there. I'm just not sure what the thing was. But anyway, what the? Okay, that's bizarre. I have this light following me when I move my chair. That's bizarre. Anyway, I think Georgia did a great job, but I do want to correct her on one thing. She was talking about the hospital that the people went to. There are actually 3 different hospitals. It was called St. Mary's. The hospital my father was born in, which was somehow ended up being born in a Catholic hospital, but oh shoot, hold on. Hey guys, sorry about that. That was the battery. Like I said, I wanted to correct that because there were actually 3 hospitals that were just overloaded with patients. The hospital my father was born in, which was Saint something. I want to say Mary, but I could be wrong. Let me look real quick. Saint. Hospitals, Hartford, Connecticut. Oops. Okay, well, there's Hartford Hospital, St. Francis. That's the one I was thinking of. At St. Francis Hospital. That's where my father was born. And Hartford Hospital. And she mentioned a small hospital, and I can't remember the one she mentioned. But there were a total of 3 hospitals that had just a calamity of patients come in from the fire. And I do want to tell you a funny story, which is related in Stuart Onan's book. Because they were obviously investigating, and they didn't know if it was a crime or, what was going on. They asked the circus to stay around. Okay. They parked and they had them park the animals across the street. Somebody had a big yard across the street. from the circus grounds. Well, after about a week, the people of Hartford went absolutely crazy. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't know how far away the trumpet of an elephant can be heard, but the roar of a lion can be heard for a mile. And you had lions and elephants, and oh my. So not only did you have these animals making their noises, but you had them making their messes, which I'm sure, as large as their messes were, didn't smell good either. Um, but the people were going nuts because the sounds of the lions roaring and the elephants trumpeting were driving them nuts. And they said, "Can you please let them take them away? Please. We've had a week of roar and brr, 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 and we're going crazy. We just want to sleep." So they had to let the circus move on. Or at least take the animals someplace, where they weren't in the middle of a city. So I had to share that with you because this is so tragic and so horrifying that just that little bit of brevity is just, no, levity, not brevity. That little bit of levity is needed, you know. I can't imagine being there and listening to that. I don't know how far it was from where my dad lived, whether my grandparents would have heard the sounds or not. My father was 3 months old. He was born on April 9th of that year. But for the grace of God. I'm very lucky. He didn't know back then that he lost a cousin because she's not a first cousin or anything. We found that out later on, and that's when my mother and I began studying this fire. So I'm going to dedicate this video in the memory of my cousin, Anne Baruti. And again, her adorable picture sits right next to me throughout this video. It's funny, on the Circus Fire page, it says they got the picture from Ancestry. Except I gave them the picture. I posted it over on the Circus Fire's Facebook page. So I'm not sure why it says that. And I'm the one that gave it to him, told them about her to be put in the list in the first place. Actually, no, she was in the list, but they didn't have a picture of her. So I'm not sure why it says they got it from Ancestry, but it doesn't matter. I'm not complaining. I'm just glad there's a picture. My plan for the rest of the day is a nice hot bath. I am not going to wash my hair. Edit this video, curl up, and take a nap. Before I do, I just want to show you the day we're dealing with. Look at that. That is freaking gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. On the 3rd, I will be ordering those window clings and we'll be putting them up together as soon as they come in. As well as unboxing the last of my Christmas presents. Because Daddy Bob and Mama Monica do not watch my channel, so. And I was able to give out more cards last night, business cards. I love having that option. Oh my gosh. That is so awesome. And they're not expensive, And people really seem to like them. So here's to hoping that I get some subscribers on both channels through it. We'll see. I'm already starting to build more subscribers on this channel. We're up to 13, I think, last I checked. Yay! And my other one's up to over 213. I think it's 214 or something, which is amazing. Thank you for that. Cheers with my cran apple raspberry. Before I do anything, I'm going to go get some more of that. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And click the bell for notifications. Check out my social media if you don't want to click the bell. Please click like on some of these videos. Comment. You can leave an emoji, a thumbs up, a smiley face. It doesn't matter. You're still interacting in a way. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.